Hey everyone, I'm Sandy Charles with another Sandy Says for Sports360az.com. I hope you're all staying safe and well right now in this really weird and scary time. And just know we're all in this together. Now, the world is on pause, sports are on pause. Major League Baseball shut spring training down right in the middle of it. So it got me thinking we have some extra time to get to know the NL West a little bit better, the direct competition for the Diamondbacks for that NL West crown. First, I wanted to start in the Bay Area and get to know the San Francisco Giants. They hired a new Major League hitting coach in the offseason, so let's get to know him. Donnie, thank you so much for stopping in here.
Thanks for having me.
First off, it is your first ever year with the San Francisco Giants. How's it been going so far?
It's been great. Obviously, pressing pause right now, but to come back home to serve the team, you grew up loving. Really pleased with where we were in spring training, and although it's tough to see that come to a halt, it was really encouraging.
What were the first few days of this whole shutdown like for you personally?
I actually jumped. My mindset went right away to how do we dominate the 6 to 8 weeks. Originally, we were told about 6 to 8 weeks, right? So my mindset went right into everybody's going to go through this, so there's no excuses. How can we be world class at it? I made a phone call to a player about 48 hours after that, just checking in with them. Me wanting to be really excited with building out mock game plans and building out training models. And he made a comment to me, and he said that it's the first time in 12 years that he's ever had breakfast or lunch with his family in the month of March. And it was like I had to immediately pump the brakes and prioritize, the human being, and that they're going through something that's really rare to them. So I think it was putting not the athlete, but putting the person first and giving them that space, because there's no finish line, and it's really rare to not have a finish line, not have a focal point of when we're going to get going. So I think we balanced that really well as a staff, giving them space to be people while also being really intentional with keeping them on a good track.
Speaking of that good track, how are they able to stay sharp right now during this stoppage?
Yeah, it's a great question, and everyone's wanting to find the magic trick to replicate, 90 mile an hour sliders, 100 mile an hour fastballs. And I think the best thing we can do, there's obviously the background work in terms of game planning and, self-evaluating. That's super important. And it's really sticky for their success. But right now it's really about their minds and their bodies. So our strength and conditioning, our medical staff have programmed out for every single guy, keeping them at the right intensity level so that when we do come back, we're not spending the majority of our time trying to get them back into shape. And baseball has its own, there's no way to replicate standing out at your position, for an hour and a half during a game. So the game will get them into shape, but we're really just trying to take care of their bodies as best as we can.
What was it about the Giants organization that made you want to be a part of it?
Yeah, I did grow up loving it, so it played a huge role in my childhood. I'm very rational with any process I go through, so if you eliminate that from the picture, it was still about where they're at as an organization. Obviously, coming off of a decade in which they did stuff that had never been done before historically, but the recency has been a decline. So it's very rare that you get to be. It's very rare that storied franchises go through a pivot with leadership. So, Larry Bear, Farhan, Scott Harris, Gabe Kapler, anytime you can look at those type of leaders and, they want you to play a role, being part of a leadership group to get this thing going again it's really the challenge of a lifetime.
Now, you mentioned Gabe Kapler. What's it like being under him?
It's great. Like he's just really intentional with everything he does. High degree of discipline, but just a great listener, great question asker. It's been really cool to watch his process. It's been really intentional is the best word. I think everything he does has a purpose. There's a plan. He really is really good at empowering people around him and letting them work, while also holding them accountable.
Now, before the shutdown, what players surprised you the most from a hitting point of view?
Yeah, gosh, this one will get me in trouble. It's really hard to single one out. I'd say that one of the key things I was interested in when I came over here was how does this veteran group work? Once again, you have over 10 World Series rings inside that hitters meeting inside the cage every day. So I wanted to see the Posies, the Crawfords, the Belts, the Longorias, Pence, Sandoval, that core group and veterans. I wanted to see like what does it look like? Because once again, it's really unprecedented success that they had. So now that I've been able to watch them work and figure out who they are as people, I'm not surprised at all at the success they've had. So that's been the really cool thing because they drive the bus in a way, and it really inspires and leads the rest of the group coming up. But obviously the farm system is really accelerating fast, and it's easy to talk about the Joey Barts and the Ramoses and the Lucianos and Hunter Bishops, and there's so much more, and they're coming. But a really cool thing is looking at the leadership circle that's on this roster right now.
So 7 years ago, you were coaching high school, and now you're a big league hitting coach. What do you attribute your success and fast rise to?
Yeah, man, I keep hearing that question. It doesn't feel like it's been that fast, because I felt like I've been coaching since I was 16 years old. So when I played the game, I always caught myself watching other people and wanting to help them. So I feel like I've been coaching a long time. But to your point, it's been a quick ascend. I think it just really comes down to listening really well. So observing what's out there, what's signal, what's noise, where do I need to become really efficient at so that I can help people. And then it's really like I've been around really good people. I broke in with the St. Louis Cardinals. They showed me so many things that I do today, especially when it comes to communication and just how we go about our business. They really broke me in, and they modeled it in a really good way. They were really critical in such a healthy way on developing their coaches as total complete coaches. So I think I was just really fortunate to be around good systems. Really good experience with David Bell last year in Cincinnati, another really good leader. So I think it's like anything else. You surround yourself with really good people and you listen really well and you figure out where you can make an impact.